All right, so molarity is concentration, so it has to do with number of moles in number of liters. But we don't deal with liters all the time in everyday life. I mean, here we deal with ounces, but everywhere else we usually deal with milliliters, right? And milliliters are small. Like this is, that little bit right there is 1 milliliter. And we use milliliters because if we're measuring like small cups of things or things like that, we're going to end up with a whole number or some number in the tens or the hundreds. Whereas if we use liters, we're going to end up with decimals. So we don't like to use liters all the time unless it's for large amounts, like something in the pool or something. Usually we use milliliters. But then we always end up converting to liters for things like molarity, other stuff like, well, not for molarity, but for other stuff like that. So today you're going to have to convert from milliliters to liters. So I want to go over a couple conversions before I tell you what molarity is. So let's just do like converting. We'll just do like 2 of these, maybe 3 at most. So let's do 5 ml, 2 liters. So anytime you're converting, obviously write down what you have first, 5 mLs. And then you draw parentheses and put a line through the middle. Whatever we're starting with, that's what's going to go on the bottom. Whatever we're converting to goes on top. Goes up. And then somewhere in your notebook, you should have this. You should have 1 milliliter equals 0.001 liters. Or you'll have 1,000 milliliters equals 1 liter. Same thing, right? Either way, this number is 1,000 times bigger than this number. So we'll use that. So we'll put 1 here, 0.001 here. So it's just 5 times 0.001. What's that going to come out to? You should be able to do this in your head, really, right? 5 times this is 0.005. These go away, so our answer comes out in liters.
1,000 liters.
1,000 milliliters equals 1 liter. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right, let's do one more. Let's do 12 milliliters to liters. So again, same process. Milliliters on the bottom, liters on top. 1 on the bottom. 0.001 on top.
0.012, right?
Yeah, just 0.012. Yep. Yeah, it's 12 times that is. That'll be liters. So all we're doing for all these conversions is multiplying by 0.001. That's it. Those go away. We good with that?
Yeah.
All right, should I do another one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now let's talk about molarity. Does everybody have this? So I can erase this. All right, good. So molarity is basically a measure of concentration. Go ahead and written here. Those going to write? Yes. Now, in true scientific fashion, we have like a dozen different ways to measure concentration. There's percents, and it could be percent by volume or percent by mass. There's something called molality, there's parts per million. But molarity is the most common one, so that's the one you should learn first, and hopefully it's the one that you'll remember. The equation's really simple. Molarity, which is represented by capital M, equals number of moles over volume. Alright, so let's just write these all down. M is molarity, N is number of moles, number of moles of the solute, of the stuff you're mixing into the water, right? Of solute sugar, salt, iced tea mix, whatever it is. And then V is volume, oops, volume starts with V. In liters though, has to be in liters. This M, you may also see written in brackets instead. So instead of a capital M, sometimes you'll see something like this. You'll see brackets and you'll see the formula written in the middle. Like if I said the molarity of, sodium chloride, then I would put NaCl in brackets. So this system is nice because you can write what the compound is that's in there. It's the concentration of what thing. But for today, we're just going to use capital M. In the future, we'll use brackets. All right. So let's do a problem here. What is the concentration of, anybody have a favorite compound that we use? What is it? Sodium what? Sodium dioxide. Actually, it'd be sodium oxide would be Na2O. If 0.3 moles are mixed with, let's say, 800 milliliters. Okay.
Is that 0.2 or 3?
0.3. All right, so let's list our givens. N is 0.3 moles. V, 800 milliliters. What do we got to do with this? Convert to liters. 800 milliliters is how many liters? You multiply by 0.001, what do you get? 0.8. 0.8 liters. So now all we got to do is plug into the equation. M equals 0.3 moles. Remember, for number of moles, you always have to put MOL. You can't put just M. And I'll tell you why in a second. Okay, 3 divided by 8, that's like 0.375, right? Okay, and for molarity, you can write moles over liters, or you can put a capital M. So the unit actually is the same as the symbol we're using. So capital M always means moles per liter. All right, questions? You do another problem? Did I hear a yes out there somewhere? No, I heard a yes. All right. On this worksheet, I gave you some conversions to do on the front. Just a few. You know, practice that before you